It is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. To all the mothers out there, especially, well, my mother. I called my mother today.
Very nice of you.
You know, and as I think of that, really it's up to the kids to celebrate your Mother's Day.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, my Mother's Day is for Gail, right? But we'll still celebrate yours because you're a tremendous mother. We are in Guelph heading to Ollie's last day of the ball tournament. Now, although the team was only 1-2 so far this weekend, they played good. They played very good. These are the first, those were the first 3 games of the season. First game, nail biter, they lost 7-6. They won the second one 14-3. I think they lost the third one 7-3, 7-2 or something. 8-3. But they played pretty good. Ollie has a hit in each of his last 6 at-bats. He did pitch a little bit. 2 strikeouts. I don't think he did. Do you have any earned runs? One earned run? Yeah, you're right. 1 earned run. But has had a great tournament. It's been a lot of fun watching him play baseball. Now, obviously, not just baseball on this weekend. I didn't do a video Saturday morning. Yesterday morning, we had a lot on the go. JK Victory, I saw some people were upset that he took him to the back. Yeah, he doesn't generally race well from off the pace, but from the outside at the start of a season, obviously, Devin Tharps looked left and decided that maybe it wasn't the best course of action to leave with him. So he ended up, I think he was 7th or something, but lots of racing for him all summer long. Earlier in the afternoon, we got to watch Memory and Imagination. He looked great. I kind of joked with Ronnie Wren because the horse is back in 6 days, and he was
That wasn't yesterday.
No, yeah, it was Friday. Yeah, I was talking about.
Where are you going? Go straight.
Oh, right. I'm used to going right. Addie, yeah, I've heard Dada 37,000 times today. What's up, honey?
Oh, what's that one?
I don't really like it, to be honest.
No, it's not annoying.
What do you need, Abby?
I gave Mama what my bag going.
For Mother's Day? It's very kind of you. Ava, you know it's going to be mind-blowing? You losing your phone for the rest of the week. Wouldn't that be mind-blowing? Uh-huh. What? So, yeah, Memory and Imagination. I was joking with Ronnie on Friday.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you were correcting me.
Well, you were talking about the horses that raced yesterday, and then all of a sudden you started talking about Memory and Imagination.
If you look at it, no, I didn't talk about anybody that raced yesterday. I talked about Memory and Imagination. JK Victory was Friday night also. It's okay. Why don't we try?
You've already done a video on this.
No, I didn't. That was the whole point. I didn't do one Saturday because I was at Ollie's game. So this, now because it's Mother's Day, I won't request an apology. It's not a big deal.
We were driving home on Friday.
Did we? So we watched JK Victory race at 11 o'clock at night on Friday?
No, but we watched Memory and Imagination race. And
Yes,
then you
and
did
I was
video.
telling the story about Ronnie and how I was joking with him. It's okay, it's Mother's Day. Don't worry about it. Just put that one. The old bang. So, Memory and Imagination. 3 wide to the quarter, cleared at the half. I told him it was a pretty scenic route he took. Asked him if I owed him for any of the tolls on the way to the winner's circle. He raced really good, really happy with the horse. Now, I did discuss him because I said that probably just going to list Brett Beckwith on the horse. That next Thursday is kind of busy for us. We have the horses in Scioto, we have the horses at the Meadows, and of all the horses we have, Memory and Imagination's pretty push button. What a nice horse he is to drive. And just so nothing went wrong, now obviously we had the back of the bike hobbles on them, and we had them in such a manner that we know where they sit in our bike, in my bike from the Meadows. So just so nothing goes wrong, we sent the bike with them. Everything went with Memory and Imagination to Mark and Melissa's barn in Saratoga, where he'll race in the Bunker Hill next week. So that was Memory and Imagination. That was Friday. Saturday, we had a lot on tap. It was so cold yesterday, too. It was a bit of a miserable day because it was just cold and there was a chance of rain later. The babies trained really well in the morning. I went with the little filly, what's her name? My Wicked Heart. And I went with Trevino on green. Both trained very, very good. In fact, all 6 finished up right across the track together, 3 by 3. set 1 and 2. I was really happy with what I saw from the horses in Ontario. I saw Gaslight out. He looked great. The vet was happy with what she saw from his improvements from the work that our staff has put into her knees. I'm going to try it. Uh-oh.
You hesitated.
I got lots of time. Don't worry about it. Short merge lane. I got it all taken care of. I also saw Resolve Indeed. She looked great also. So happy with everybody in the Ontario barn. Then we saw Oliver play baseball all day. Now during the games we had some starts to the day in racing. 2 o'clock or 2:30 I think. Time Is On My Side raced. An extremely rare break in the first turn. I was like, what is going on here? Why can't I just have things go right today? And then all at once, in the blink of an eye, turned. He came back pacing. He landed down behind the favorite. I didn't quite understand. Obviously I didn't see the program page of the race that Ava, turn that down. I didn't see the program page for the race in the Poconos. I didn't realize Gem Quality was in there until I heard his name announced. I'm like, Gem Quality? Is that not the colt that won the Breeders' Crown? Yes, that's the colt that won the Breeders' Crown. The other Captain Crunch colt. Mark landed right in behind him. Ended up second over, but again, running in the last turn. Did it his last start. We did vet work to him, and it did not seem to be the spot. So Mark had said the track was bad. Usually the Poconos is good, but he said the grader there has been broken, and they were working on getting it fixed, and the track just wasn't as good as they hoped it would be. And there was horses making breaks in weird places. Now I didn't watch any of the races. I took his word for it. But he said maybe pull his hobbles in one hole, and he was on the right line a bit. So I was talking to Dr. Brown. We'll talk about that in another video. I was talking to Dr. Brown yesterday, and I said, could you go over Time Is On My Side? Now, this is not a dagger at anybody. This isn't me saying, well, somebody should have noticed this, and this isn't done right. I can't even tell you where he's got a little hole in him, a little pinchiness to him. This is just maintenance work, but you got to hit the spot. So Dr. Brown said he would take a look at him very early on Monday or Tuesday, so that he'll be fine withdrawal time-wise for Saturday's Sire Stake race. Now, we also watched Arson race. Arson raced good. Now, to be fair, he paced a full second faster than Time Is On My Side. Mark had said, listen, I know he's a nice colt, and he's going to be a nice colt, but if we keep trying to tangle with these big colts in this way, it might not end the way you want. Which he's saying, why don't we race him in the Stallion Series? Which I don't have a problem doing. Right here. Oh yeah, right. I'm not a taxi driver, honey. You got to give me a little help here.
You've driven here 6 times already.
Not this way. I've only driven here once. So Arson, I think we'll probably just race him in the Stallion Series. That might be shocking for people to hear, but our main goal with Arson is to get him to Kentucky, right? We still have the Adios, and we still have the Jug if we want to race him in it. Same as Time Is On My Side. But what's that? What happened?
Somehow we scored.
We scored?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody must have hit a home run, did they?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get a home field advantage. We get a free run.
I think this froze or something.
Oh, I see. So Arson, it's all going to be about management with all the horses. Right now, you guys are getting a good look at the top end of Pennsylvania. It is a shark tank. It always has been, and it will be for quite a while. We got a couple of really nice colts, but making sure that we continue to have a couple of really nice colts will be very, very important. Now, I gave Mark the option. I said, what about the big colt? He said, Anthony. He said, he's a monster. The horse is a giant. He wears no boots. He paced 27-1 on the end of it after making a break and was trying to run down the Breeders' Crown champ from last year. Yeah, I think he'll be okay. And he said Arson's a sweet horse. It's going to be a lot of fun to drive. Just, again, trying to manage him. Now, I guess staying on the line of Mark driving, drove Pickpocket last night. Now, I had a message from one of my partners, Randy, right after race saying, Pickpocket looks lame? ? I said, well, he's always been rough. Always been a bumpy gated horse, and I showed Amy last night. Even when you go back and look at Lexington last year, he almost made that break in the Bluegrass leaving the gate. We never talk about what he did almost leaving the gate because he won the race, but he almost ran going into the first turn in the Bluegrass, and you got that nice soft play track. It's just totally different. And our only reference points for his gate on our stone dust track was with no hobbles in Oak Grove, where we were going very slow, and the other one was Hoosier Park, where he ran all over the track. So, yes, I think his feet bother him quite a bit. I think Mark had said, what about a set of flip-flops? I said, we've worn flip-flops on him. The problem is, with the flip-flops, he gets up into his high shin and jack area when he's trotting. So I'd rather not go to the flip-flops again. I would rather just work on him. And just because I believe it's just his feet, after speaking to Mark and speaking to Megan, I don't believe it's just his feet. Oh, we just got to work on his feet. I think it's a number of little things. Because he's loading weight and has loaded weight behind, his back is really tight. Megan thought that, her vet thought that one hock was bothering him a little bit. And also,
Park behind that.
I want to park right here. Right up here. And also, potentially, one knee was bothering me. He said these are very minor things that aren't really a big deal, but they all add up, right? They all add up. So I guess what I'm what I'm saying is a lot of room for improvement, I think, with Pickpocket. Now, I'm not trying to tell you, you know what, if we get all this done, we might run that Carl horse down. He come 26-4 with a bow in his neck last night. He looked mighty, mighty impressive. Where's the rest of that bag? Oh, right there. He looked mighty, mighty impressive last night. Now, on to the rest of the day. Earlier also, Stay Close raced. He actually had some mucus and a tiny bit of blood in his throat. To me, when I looked at him, I guess it rained there and the track was hard as a rock. He looked a little pinchy also. And we have to stay on top of his feet. Feet and left stifle generally are his trigger points. So, just a little maintenance on Stay Close also. Maybe I can talk Dr. Brown into looking at him, because he was the one that looked at him right before he went on that last tear last year. So, listen, Stay Close went in 53 2 weeks ago. For him to come up with a flat race, he's an aged horse and an old war horse, and you're going to see him have flat lines from time to time, but you always see him bounce back, and you're going to see him bounce back next week, I'm sure. I'm Fancy Like, showed a little blood last night also. Again, stretched out real good in the Scioto last week. I think the way she was kind of flat in the end of her mile, maybe she bled a tiny bit down there. We couldn't really scope her. She can be really rude to scope sometimes, so it was a chore to get it done last night. But there was a little blood there, so we're going to put her on Lasix. Not that shocking. When you look at the mile, you know, for her to come first over and win for Ronnie, then I believe I won with her, or was second with her, and then race that kind of so-so mile. By so-so, I mean she was 8th, but they went in 52 in Scioto, and then come back last night, get everything her own way, and falter. It was pretty obvious that there was something going on there, and sure enough, we found out what it was. Blanton's Blue raced good again, little tougher crew, 101-1, a mile and 59-4. I thought he could have been a little stronger on the end of the mile, but again, I don't think he raced poorly. I think he raced all right, but you know, for everybody out there, all my partners with Blanton's Blue, again, there's no easy pickings anywhere. It's not going to be easy in the Excelsior races. It certainly is not going to be easy in any of the non-winners of 4 overnight races. And I know there's people out there saying, well, we could race him in the non-winners of whatever at Saratoga. You could, yeah. Still has to become acclimated. Still has to be driven. He's still not the easiest little horse to drive. But he's getting there. He's getting there. His first stake race is coming up, and he'll ship out to New York, where he'll stay for the summer, I would imagine. Now, he will be moved around. I know a lot of our clients had said, why don't we go to this guy because he can truck here and he can truck there. I don't think we're going to do any of that. I think we're going to do exactly what we did with Bomb Hugger 2 years ago, and that is, I believe, at Tioga now, we have Jared Bothwell is there. He's done some work for us and trained some horse for us and swam some horses for us over the years. He is going to have probably Blanton's Blue in the Tioga, Batavia, Buffalo area. We also have Brian Swift in Buffalo and Batavia also, so that won't be a problem getting him trained and raced in that regard, in that area. As far as Monticello and Yonkers is concerned, Megan would likely be our go-to out there. And on the Saratoga side, we have the Beckwith family who's stabled right there also. So he'll bounce around a little bit throughout the summer, but the whole goal is to have him as comfortable as possible in a place he can do some good. Next, Prince Charmer finished second. If I had only one dig, it would be, I thought his hobbles were a little tight. I noticed for whatever reason that her hobbles, when I make them, they're made up at 66 inches loop to loop. But I noticed that when I measured them this year, they shrunk up a little bit. I think those ropes may be expanded. They won't break, but I think they shrink up a little bit. So I'm going to replace the ropes on Prince Charmer's hobbles this week. Yes, and then we had Pickpocket. I thought a good third. Finished third, 55 last quarter and 28, which isn't that huge Meadowlands mile, but it wasn't set up to be, right? 7-horse field. They kind of dawdled at the start. I think it was 28-1, 57-4. You're not going 52 off those fractions, not this time of year. Maybe on a hot night with a full field, but not in a 7-horse field. So I thought he raced good, but it was kind of a one-off race. I didn't see any positive or negative motion from him. I thought he raced well, but I think there's room for improvement. When you see him, that gate is a little choppy. There's definitely room for improvement. Is there enough for so he gets closer to Carl? Maybe within 9 lengths, but maybe within 6 or 7. Carl looked like an absolute beast last night, and it looked like what we've always said. Pickpocket's a nice horse, and he's going to continue to be a nice horse. Purple People Eater, a winner, hung on to win. Did the moonwalk a little late, but she's got that ear hood on. First over, not really her cup of tea, and I think she just maybe did the moonwalk, you know, put it in neutral halfway down the lane. Now if we open her up a little bit, put a hood with cups on her, put a set of earplugs on her so she can hear horses coming, she can see them coming, I think she'll be a little bit better off. But I thought she raced well, all in all. Sweeney, pretty disappointed. You know, he had the rail. All we need to do is draw in the middle to the outside of the gate with this horse, and here he draws the rail, and he must have felt good, because, I mean, Luke has been doing good on the track and does do good usually, and he kind of looked to me like he was protecting position a little bit and was surprised by the break he made. So I'm not worried about him, but I am a little disappointed that he made the break from the rail. It's racing. There's not much we can do. I said to Jason, well, clearly this isn't going to work. Trying to protect him from shipping by putting him on a track that he's not quite as good on. May as well just put him in to go in Scioto next Thursday, and that's exactly what we're going to do. He'll race in that series next Thursday in Scioto. And then Renegade Gypsy just beat at the wire for second, and raced very, very good. So as I've been gone, it hasn't been perfect. We had some issues we had to deal with. But as I've been gone the last 2 days, we had Memory and Imagination, a winner. Collector, he'll go on. Lazex also, I believe. I've wondered about that horse for quite a while. From those couple of starts where he kind of walked on Chris Christoforo here to, you know, he put him in a good spot. Remember the night he cleared to the front and then he walked halfway down the lane? Or, you know, he popped out and he looked like he was going to be good and close up on top of them, and he kind of fizzled out. You know, I often wondered that night if there was a little bit of bleeding going on. He said there wasn't, but when Stacy had scoped him the other day, she said the vet did see like a 1 out of 5. And I said, well, again, you're racing in the hottest place in the universe all summer. It was a chilly night the other night, and you still showed a 1 out of 5. There's nothing for me to believe that was there any mucus? Was there any redness? Was there anything else that would compound and cause that bleeding? And the answer was no. So the answer made it simple. Just put the horse on Lazex. So he'll race next week on Lazex. Winter Bells, again, used her off the gate. Again, James drug her to the back, and she won 26-4 the week before in 55, but used up this week and kind of faltered late in the mile. Just a very kind of ordinary looking mile, and this is why a horse like Winter Bells will probably find herself on the for sale list, and quite frankly, I guess we could race her next Saturday at Northfield and then onwards at 2 leading up to that sale, because I'm pretty sure she can beat, actually she can win the maiden. She can beat the maiden class over there, I would suspect, pretty handily. There's going to be no 55 miles in that crew. So that's the plan for her. Insider Trading made the break also. I'll go with her next week. I'm certainly not blaming Dave. He did a great job the week before. Just seems like we just can't get this filly. That last piece of the puzzle seems to be missing, and we have to put it in there and get her back on track for sure. She's there. She's close. She feels like she's there, but she's just not quite. Today we just have Greatest Ending, so I'll finish up here at noon and then drive back over and go with him later on tonight. But for the Friday and Saturday, we had a breaker, a win, a 5th. Winter Bells was flat, no good. JK Victory took to the back again. He was no good, stay close, showed some mucus and blood, and was no good. Then we get the bulk of the order. A massive, massive mile from Time Is On My Side, and you can be sure he'll even be better next week. A very good mile from Arson, again, 52 flat. Raced very well. I'm Fancy Like, little flat, finished 3rd. We can fix that for next week. Blanton's Blue was 3rd also, but again, not a bad mile from him. Prince Charmer 2nd, Pickpocket 3rd, Purple People Eater a winner, a break from Sweeney, and a 3rd with Renegade Gypsy. All in all, a pretty strong 48 hours here at the stable. So, with that, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to send this video out. I'm working on it. I haven't even done your videos yet. I'm too busy with my boy. So after this game, I'll get to your videos. We're going to talk about the racehorses. Maybe your opening for the week. The racehorses. the 2-year-olds, the 3-year-olds, and everything else that is going on at the stable. So with that, I'll let you go. I'm going to post this one. You might not get the rest of your videos till tomorrow morning. I don't know yet, but you'll get this one right now. Have a wonderful Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are. Take care.